Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is John from Second City Toys, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 112 Collective from Mezco Toys, Shazam, one of my favorite DC characters. Now, as you can see in the front of the box here, we do have the 112 Collective Mezco logo up here, as well as the Shazam logo here in the middle, and we have the Shazam name here on the side, and on the right side here we have the DC Comics logo. Now, on the side of the box, we do have the Shazam name, as well as the logo, as well as the 112 Collective there at the bottom. Now we turn this sucker around, we do have some product art here with the 3 head sculpts that it comes with, as well as some of the accessories there at the bottom. So let's go ahead and turn this guy around and take it out of the box. Alright guys, there he is straight out the box. Now the first thing I want to talk about is this cape. I just want to get this cape out the way first. So let's just go ahead and put him to the side and let's talk about this cape. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to talk about is this cape. Now, this cape, as you can tell, is a wired cape. Now, Mezco did a good thing by listening to their customers to put in the wire for the cape. I know a lot of people were unhappy for the Batman versus Superman, and how you have to pretty much rig the tentacles that comes with it so you can actually manipulate the cape. So I'm really happy how this turned out. This is a good cape. I love every detail of this cape. I love his accessories that it has on the side of the cape. Now the gold is pretty accurate. I love all the accessories on the side of the cape here. I know in the comic books, I believe they're stitched onto it and they're not like live like this. I think they're kind of like in the actual cape themselves. I don't remember having them outside like that, but you know what, that's fine. I can overlook that. It's no problem. It looks good. Everything looks good. The gold here looks amazing. The stitching looks very well done. The only thing I can say about this is that when it's time to become a hood, it's really hard to actually manipulate and make it into a hood. But I mean, if you work with it over time, you'll get, good at it. But other than that, I really had no complaints about this. This is pretty good. Like I said, I love the color, I love the white, and I love the material they use for this. I'm not sure what kind of material it is, but it reminds me of like, I don't know, great cape, good job. All right guys, so let's go ahead and start with the articulation. Now we'll go ahead and start off with the head. The head does go side to side, and it does go up and down. It goes up that much, and it looks down that much. Also, the head does tilt to the side and to the left side. And the upper torso here has 2 joints, one here at the top torso, the other at the waist, so I make it crunch that much, and it could look back or crunch back that much. Now the arms can go ahead and reach up to that height. You have a double jointed elbow here, as well as a joint at the wrist. You can move side to side, rotate up and down, and there's also a butterfly joint here at the shoulder. All right. So let's go ahead and move on with the legs. The legs can reach out that much, and it does go back about that much, and it opens up, and it opens up about that much. Now there's no articulation here, but they do have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and the foot does go up about that much, and it goes down about that much, but you can barely tell. Now the only thing that I don't like, and there is no ankle pivot for any crazy posing, It's a slight ankle pivot, but not as much. And there you have it, guys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the accessories. Alright guys, so the first accessory that it comes with are obviously the ones that he comes with. For this part, we're talking about the head. It's well sculpted. I do like everything about this head. It's very detailed. I'm not sure if you can see here, but you can tell because it separates the cheekbone from the actual cheek. It's really well sculpted here. Has some good ears. The hair is really good. I do like how the way they sculpt the hair. Let's take a look here. So if you can see, here's what I mean. Like the cheekbone, it separates itself from the cheek. Now I'm not sure if it's just my figure that I have, but it does have that John Travolta chin right there. That reminds me of Look Who's Talking when he was in his younger days. That kind of reminds me right there. It has that hole that separates the cheek, the chin. I'm not sure you'd be able to tell, but it does have it on mine. Let's go ahead and move on with the second head sculpt. Alright guys, and here is the second head sculpt out of the three. This is the smiling head sculpt. This is one of my favorites. Like I said before, it does have good detail in the sculpt. You could tell there's wrinkles where the smile is. You know, just the face expression that it makes, the wrinkles come out very good. There's a little bit of wrinkles here by the eyes due to the smile. It's a really good head sculpt. I like it at all. I have no complaints about this. This is actually pretty good. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. Alright guys, this is the third head sculpt and one of my very favorite ones. This is the screaming head sculpt for Shazam. This is when he is calling out for his power or when he's powering up. This is an awesome head sculpt, man. Look at the detail on that face. Like I said before, there's all these wrinkles now on the side of his face, like closer to his temple due to the scream. The eyes are all white. Like when he gets hit by that lightning, everything turns white. This is really one of my favorite head sculpts. Like out of the whole line, this one takes the cake. I really love this head sculpt. The teeth are perfectly sculpted. The tongue is perfectly colored. Everything is really well done. I have no complaints whatsoever about this head sculpt. Of all three of them, this is one of my favorite ones. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, this is the second part of the accessories, which are his hands. Now, these pair of fists did come with the figure already. I do like these fists. They're pretty good. They're really well sculpted. I do like how the knuckles pop out. And overall, they're pretty good fists. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. Alright guys, and these are the second part of the fist. These are the grab hands. They're really well made. They're really well sculpted. I do like how the finger bones are connected to the knuckles. It really comes out. You can tell there's some shading there. It's really cool. I also like how in the palms, it does have the line of your palms. That's pretty awesome. Overall, these hands are awesome. I do like them. These are the more aggressive, dramatic hands. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. All right, guys, here are his third pair of hands. These are his directing traffic hands, or you could use them to like fly, like a little flight pose or whatnot. But I like how this hand here, it's like the index finger. It's slightly separated from the rest of the fingers, so you could almost use it as a pointer. But this hand is not. This hand is really like clenched in together, which is fine. Those are for his flying. But overall, great hands. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the rest of his stuff. Hey guys, so we have here the lightning effect. This effect shows up when he calls out for Shazam, and the lightning pretty much hits his metal chest plate. And then it pretty much hugs him all the way around. I do love the way they made this here. I love the sculpting of this. It's very nicely made. I love the color. The color is very good. I love that it's translucent. It's almost see-through. I love everything about it. It's a real hard plastic, so if you drop it once or twice, nothing's gonna happen. It's not gonna break or anything. But I wouldn't suggest dropping it more than, you know, one or two times. But it's a good material. I mean, if you mess with it, I don't think it falls off that easily because it's pretty much hugging the body, which is always good. So you could go ahead and pose it however way you want. It won't fall off. But other than that, it's a good piece. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. Alright guys, so here we have Mr. Atom head. I do love this head. It's very well sculpted. I love the rings here on the top. I also love the fact that you got here Shazam's fist imprint on his face. And also, if you pay close attention, like the lens here on his eye is pretty cracked, opposed to this one when it's just solid glass there. This one is actually pretty cracked. I'm not sure if you're able to tell. But if you have one of these, pay close attention, you'll see it. I also like the wires coming out of the bottom of his head here. I wish there was some color in the wires, but you know, I'm not complaining. Overall, very good head. Let's go on to the next. All right, guys, so here we have Mr. Mind. Mr. Mind is pretty much the equivalent of Professor X in the Marvel Universe. In the middle here we have his voice box that he uses to talk. Now these antennas are really fragile. They almost feel like they can break off real easily, so I'm trying not to grab this guy a lot, but I'm trying really hard not to mess with this guy at all. If I do include him in some shots, he won't be doing anything extreme or anything because I'm real scared to break this guy. But other than that, really good accessory. I really do love everything about this. The sculpting, the color, everything is very, very well done. Like I said, Mezco so far hasn't disappointed me, so let's go ahead and just move on. Alright guys, and you know it's not a Mezco without its famous Mezco stand. This stand comes with the Shazam logo in the front. Also, we have this peg here that you can put Shazam on. You can always take this peg off by taking the articulated arm from the back and just popping it out. And this one popped out very easily. Then you could just go ahead and put the articulated arm on there, and then you can go ahead and pose Shazam any way you want. And there you have it, guys, the 112 Collective Shazam by Mezco Toys. If you have any questions, concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. I will leave all my social media links down in the description. If you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come check out the future content here on my channel. If you want to keep up, just go ahead and hit that little bell down below, and you'll be notified as soon as I post something up. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the pictures at the end. Once again, this is John from Second City Toys, and I'm out.